What's cracking, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. New video. I was just kicking back and a new video by Damian Porter popped up on my feed, and it had to do with Big U, right? I haven't done a video on Big U in a little while, and I haven't done anything about all this stuff with the indictment. But today I see that they now filed the feds filed a superseding indictment, right? And I watched some of the video on Damian Porter's channel, and I believe he said the paperwork that he was reviewing was from Seti Nash. I believe that was the name. So go ahead and check out both channels and see what they have to say. But I want to say this: as I was listening to the stuff being read and what the feds are doing, let's be 100% clear. The feds, they don't play around. They file something on you, they're probably gonna hang you up, right? But as I was listening to this, the things that they were saying, that he was saying, that Big U was saying on the phone, I believe Big U is going to be able to afford a good attorney, a great attorney. And this superseding indictment that I was hearing was a wiretap, or several wiretaps, on Big U's phone. And Big U talking about breaking Wack 100's jaw. Big U talking about if somebody has beef with Big U, they won't live long. And I think that it just that doesn't sound, the feds have to have way more than that, right? Because here's the thing that popped out to me. Well, there's a couple things, but let's talk about this. Nipsey Hussle and his brother Sam did get into it with Big U, and they didn't die for it. Big U had nothing to do with what happened to Nipsey later. The feds even say that. They don't believe he had anything to do with it. So when Big U's on the phone saying anybody has beef with me, they won't live long, Nipsey beefed with him. They got into a physical altercation. And then they moved on. And I'm sure there's other people in the 60s that have had beef with Big U and survived it. You have where he's on the phone talking about, when I see Wack 100, I'm going to break his jaw. Well, we know he saw Wack 100 on at least one occasion after that. Wack 100's jaw wasn't broken. See, the attorney for Big U, I think, has an easy case as far as fighting that. Big U was known as Debo in his hood, allegedly, right? But Big U was getting older. Big U's reputation is what he had because he wasn't in the streets doing those things. His reputation is what he was living off of. I'm not bad-mouthing the dude. I'm saying that's what his attorney's going to talk about. Yes, Big U had a past, but he had become a community leader. And Wack 100, who they need to put on the stand, Wack 100 had a falling out with Big U, and every chance he got, he called Big U a rat, or he got Loose Cannon to call him a rat, or he got 600 to call him a rat. And so Big U was on the phone talking tough. It was all bravado. It was just him trying to remain safe and alive in his hood, be able to pull back up, be around, help out the youth. I'm telling you, as I was listening to the case, as I was listening to the indictment, I was like, this was just somebody trying to do good. I think what's important is the dates of these phone calls. I think any of these taps, if they're after the fallout with Wack 100, those especially can be easily explained. You know, you have, look, the other day you had Wack 100. He was on a podcast. 3 Crips in there. He's the only blood. I think it was 3 Crips and 1 blood. Him, right? Pyroom. And basically they told him, you stay getting in Crip business. And Wack 100, I understood what he was saying. It was that ain't the type of cripping that he's used to. And now Wack's been out of the hood for a long time. He ain't been in the streets in a long time. Wack is, I believe, a little bit younger than me. 4 or 5 years younger than me. But Wack remembers a time when Crips and Bloods and Pyros, they weren't going to sit down in a podcast for nothing. So it's easy to turn around and say, well, if you're going to say that and you're going to hold that standard, how you sitting in a podcast with a bunch of Crips? You know what I mean? You can't use old school ways when it seems good for you. But let's not get sidetracked. You had Wack 100 on that podcast talking about Big U was an informant, that Big U was working with the cops. Well, if that's the case, you need to get on the stand and be questioned about how big of an informant you think Big U is. You can't have it both ways. He was Debo and he was a killer, and you know, he was doing all this stuff, but at the same time, he's trying to stop all that stuff. Wack 100 has talked about guns. Loose Cannon has talked about guns that supposedly Big U turned in. And so when I hear that Big U's talking tough on the phone, of course he is. Of course he is. He's got this other dude who has ears all over the place listening to him. He got that dude painting a negative picture of him. So Big U is doing his part to still be that dude people remembered. Because Big U wasn't out there doing that stuff anymore. So, I don't know. I just wanted to put my 2 cents out there. Again, I'm sure the feds have some other stuff that's going to be pretty damn serious. I really think Big U is going to go do some time. But the stuff that I heard today that they're accusing him of, I believe can be easily explained. That's my video for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Everybody, please be safe, be smart, and tell the ones you love that you love them. I'm out of here.